Hey all, welcome back to Gadfly, or welcome for the first time. This is a podcast about third-party politics, French candidates, and just generally weird American electoral history. I'm Dusty Wilson.
I'm Una O'Leary.
And we're back for part 2 about the Alaskan Independence Party, the moment Alaska became truly free.
This time they're dismantling it from inside the system.
During his second tenure, Wally Hickel proposed a multitude of grand projects for the state. So these plans included creating a state-long natural gas pipeline, to expand the Alaska Railroad into more rural areas, building a water pipeline that ran to California, drilling in the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, and constructing an undersea railroad between Alaska and Siberia.
Wait, I'm sorry, repeat the last one? Building a what?
Oh, the railroad that goes under the Bering Sea? To Russia?
Yeah, that's the channel we're all missing.
Yeah, things were really good between America and Russia in 1990, so...
Like, was the heading for this ambitious multi-unit project just like, rape Alaska? Raping Alaska!
The state has given us too much for too long. And railroads everywhere.
Yeah.
I love me a good railroad.
Love railroads.
I'm a bullet train enthusiast.
100%.
I want 'em. Railroad under the ocean.
Amtrak kept my relationship going with my then boyfriend, now husband. So Thank you, Amtrak. Please sponsor us.
Please, Amtrak. I know you
with all that extra money.
I'm sure it's there somewhere.
That Congress keeps stealing from you.
Poor America track.
Oh.
So, despite all of these grand ideas that Wally had for Alaska going in, his governorship was incredibly goddamn boring. Not much out of the ordinary happened. Hickel negotiated the settlement from Exxon for the Valdez oil spill. He filed a number of suits against the federal government to exact more states' rights. It's pretty what you would expect for AKIP.
Sure.
And he helped build more roads and wells in rural and native communities.
That's good.
Yeah, in the end, Wally Hickel had taken this populist movement of a secessionist party and just kind of went about having a normal Republican tenure. Meanwhile, the AKIP would run their first ever candidate for Congress. An obscure Fairbanks resident named Michael States went up against Don Young, a Republican who has been Alaska's lone congressman since 1973, and still is.
Oh, wow.
Despite the man being overwhelmingly hard to find information on, States was able to pull in about 6.3% of the vote, which wasn't even close to defeating Young or the Democratic nominee. But hey, that's really good for a first-time run.
Yeah.
But also really bad if you're the party in charge.
Oh, right, because they're in charge now.
Yeah. In 1993, the AKIP would have a pair of devastating blows. One political and one personal. The political was that Wally Hickel decided not to run for a second term. Also, he was leaving the Alaskan Independence Party before the next election and rejoined as a Republican before his tenure ended.
La 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 la.
Yeah, nice success you have here. It would be a shame if I just said who I was.
Thanks for the Rumspringer, guys.
So Wally decides, I'm a Republican. I've always been a Republican. Let's end this charade. I just didn't like Arliss. Yeah. That's the only thing I wanted to secede from, is a friendship with Arliss.
Damn.
The personal, though, well, as we said so often, it depends on who you ask.
Oh, boy.
The common thread was that Joe Vogler, at the age of 80, had died.
But he died?
He died at the age of 80 in 1993.
I honestly assumed he would still be alive, today.
Oh, yeah, that he's just, complaining and suing buses.
Yes.
Yeah, he seems like the sort of person who just runs on his own anger.
Cashing his $1,000 from the government and then bitching and moaning about how he can't drive his enormous tractor through protected wildlife.
Just, making every waiter at the local Bob Evans frustrated when they see him coming.
Trigger warning.
What is this, Sausage Impossible? Nah. Here's your quarter tip. But yeah, at the age of 80 he dies. And depending on who you ask, he was either murdered or assassinated.
Oh boy.
So we're about to dip into a little bit of true crime here.
Oh.
Which, And
a little bit of dumb corners of the internet.
Oh my god, yes. This is probably my favorite part of researching because I didn't see it coming, and it was just so many YouTube videos, so much joy.
Oh.
So on Memorial Day, the ever loud and public Vogler had gone missing. He wasn't at his property, and no body was present to show what might have happened. The conspiracy theories started to churn. Some thought the feds had taken him out, primarily because he was about to give a speech at the UN. I looked into this. This is fucking true.
What?
He had been invited to the UN to give a speech on the Alaskan Independence Movement, linking it up with other autonomous independence movements. I don't know who invited him. I don't know if anyone was going to be there. But he was actually invited to speak at the UN. And so the theory is they believe that the government couldn't abide that kind of embarrassment on a national stage. So they fucking killed Joe Vogler. Others believe that party members were furious that Vogler had allowed Hickel to take over the party ticket and essentially turned it into a branch of the GOP. Then there was the simple motive. Dude had a fuck ton of gold. Of course, Joe could have also just left, but as an ardent Alaskan, him up and leaving without a word would have been really shocking. So that summer, the truth would come spilling out in the midst of a police standoff. Party member Manfred West had formerly worked for the AKIP and maintained ties with Vogler after his employment ended. West had a history of fraud, which, right before Vogler's disappearance, had landed him in jail for writing bad checks. Police had surrounded West's home due to what seemed to be a separate crime, and during the standoff, West admitted to murdering Vogler. According to West, he had gone to visit Joe Vogler to sell him some plastic explosives. As you do. At some point, the deal went wrong, and West claimed he killed Vogler in self-defense. West then blew up his cabin during the standoff.
What?
Yeah, because he's like, I've confessed to you my sins, you have surrounded me, I wasn't able to sell these explosives because the deal went wrong. Yeah, and he blew himself up. But West survived with barely any injuries.
What an idiot!
Look, if you're writing bad checks, I don't have an opinion on a strong opinion on your intelligence to begin with. So the cops walked in, got him, and he immediately recanted all of his confessions.
Yeah.
West would claim he only wanted attention when he claimed that he killed Joe, but police were more willing to believe that, yeah, West had tried to rob Vogler and murdered him in the process.
Yeah.
So the mystery of where Joe had gone would last until October of 1994, weeks before the next gubernatorial election. Joe's remains would be found in a gravel pit outside of Fairbanks after the police had been given an anonymous tip. Just as West had said, Vogler was wrapped in a duct-tape blue tarp. As were Joe's wishes, he was buried in Dawson City, Yukon Territory. At one point, he had said, I would rather be buried on foreign soil than in Alaska when it is not free.
Joe, you put a governor into this illegal government.
Yeah.
You were fine being, like, pulling the strings of the marionette. Oh, what a cranky...
Yeah.
Okay.
So to honor Joe...
Fine.
To honor Joe, since this is the last we're going to hear from him, I would like to tell my favorite story about him that had nothing to do with any election.
Excellent.
Joe sued trees. I don't know if you remember, but Joe, when he was getting his homesteads for free, he started...
From the government.
From the government. A thing he hates. He was developing some of them into like housing properties and what's that term called? Subdivisions. And so one of the rules that he had in his subdivision was you cannot have a fucking aspen on your property. He said, if you live in this fucking HOA and I see an aspen, I am fining you.
And the aspens are native to the region.
Not only native,
oh boy,
but they have a root system that connects all the aspens. So it's not just like one root for one tree.
Right.
Yeah.
They're communist trees.
They got it. And so when his residents were like, I'm not cutting down this fucking tree. It's a waste of my time. And he fined them. They took him to court. The judge asked Joe, well, Joe, you live in these housing developments, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, do you have an aspen on your property? He's like, yeah, I've tried to cut it down, but I can't. And so the judge is like, case dismissed, idiot. And that's the story of how Joe Vogler sued trees.
Fucking moron!
Enjoy libertarian purgatory, you cranky old bastard. So this moves us on to the 1994 governor's race. AKIP is now without a leader.
Oh,
The governors just abandoned them.
totally rudderless.
So 4 candidates entered into the AKIP primary, the most prominent being Lieutenant Governor Jack Coghill. And Jack Coghill ran away with the primary vote with 80%. He's now the AKIP nominee, so not a bad thing. If you have, it's pretty common for a lieutenant governor to ascend and try to run, so not as bad as it could have been. The 1994 would essentially be a complete rerun of 1990. Tony Knowles would be the Democrat nominee. Lieutenant Governor nominee Jim Campbell would run for the Republicans. The big change, though, would be with the AKIP. In the wake of Vogler's death, Coghill would push the party away from secession and more into what he called a constitutionalist party, and described himself as an Alaskan constitutionist conservative. Officially, the party name no longer even applied to the beliefs of the party.
This is all part of growing up.
So this is like the AKIP when they turn 25.
Yeah, when they're like, oh, I gotta pay taxes.
Yeah, it's like, look, I have just missed my first heating bill, and I've discovered that's not fun.
Like, you know what? I want to sleep in a bed.
Yeah.
And not the floor.
Look, I wanna be able to go into a mattress firm and not leave sad.
Gotta break up with the band.
Oh, God.
Maybe I want to start a family. I don't know.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yes. This is exactly what this moment is. It's like, I want to start a family, and I can't have a baby if I'm going to try to keep escaping from where I live. So this clearly led to great discouragement in the people who had followed Joe Vogler and believed in his cause. The polls didn't even count Coghill as a major competitor, and neither did Knowles or Campbell. The two focused their sights on each other and led to one of the closest elections in Alaskan history. After a recount, Tony Knowles would defeat Campbell by 536 votes, and Jack Coghill only got 13% of the vote, finishing a very distant third.
Oof.
In the wake of the election, the 90s would be a decidedly bleak time for the AKIP. In 1996, they would run their second candidate for Congress, Alaska Assembly member of the Denali Borough, William Nemack II, and he only got 2% of the vote. In 98, 3 AKIP candidates would run in the primary and only amass a little less than 1,800 votes, and ultimately chose Sylvia Sullivan as their nominee for governor. There isn't much to go on when it comes to Sullivan, except for the Alaska Division of Elections page, which includes election pamphlets for all of their candidates. It's actually kind of cool. It's a really neat little Wayback Machine sort of a deal.
It sounds like a Yellow Pages for political people.
Look, that is illegal Yellow Pages. Callbacks. Anyway. The two things you immediately realize about Sylvia is, one, she has a really nice hat.
Yeah,
it's like
a dope-ass fedora.
And two, she loves using quotation marks for anything and everything she can.
Oh, she's a scare quoter.
Yeah. Now, I cannot state enough that the phrase, all content provided by the candidate, is front and center of this page. So keep that in mind when I say that Sylvia C. Sullivan is a civil rights activist. And by that, she means she worked in public defender offices for 15 years. She defines that experience as, quote-unquote, working in ghetto and spending time as a self-employed paralegal.
I'm also imagining this is just, like, rife with quotes around.
Oh, everywhere.
Every single one of those words.
Party.
Civil rights activist.
Yeah. Self-employed paralegal. She states that she went to the College of San Mateo and majored in law courses.
No!
You know how you do. You go to college and you're like, I would like to major in 8 history classes, please. She also claimed that she had been fighting for the 5 years prior to get food stamps restored to people through federal intervention, and the media refused to tell you about it.
For those listening at home, all of those had scare quotes around it.
Everywhere. So you've gone from former governor, current lieutenant governor, I major in law courses, self-employed paralegal. Which how do you do that? Does that mean you're like an independent contractor? Or do you I don't know how that works.
I think that means you write your own legal memos for fun.
Oh my God.
And sometimes profit.
Yeah, oh my God. Love it. So yeah, compared to Hickel and Coghill, I mean, even compared to a very focused Joe Vogler, Sullivan didn't put up a great foot forward. Tony Knowles would win re-election, and Sullivan would get 1.9% of the vote. and she would come in 6th behind a write-in Republican, the Republican nominee, the temporarily formed Republican Moderate Party, and the Green Party.
Even the Green Party?
Yeah.
In Alaska. All right.
She would only beat 2 write-in candidates, one of which was Nicholas Begich, Begich Jr., the son of the former congressman of the same name and brother of one of the current senators from Alaska. He also ran under the AKIP banner and got 579 votes.
Wow. Well, his name also sounds like a pain in the ass to write.
I think it's Begich. I really don't know.
Buttigieg?
Yeah, Michael
Butters.
Plenty Bold Butters Buttigieg. So this was a really bad year for AKIP, but they had one last gasp left in front of them, in the form of a man by the name of Mark Chryson. Mark first achieved notable ranking in the AKIP in 1996 when he served as the vice chairman of the party at the 96 convention. At the time, Jack Coghill was in his 3rd year as party chairman, but once he was asked to step down, Chryson took over the reins. Mark was an adamant supporter of the party's namesake and made it known that his ultimate goal was to get Alaska to secede from the Union once and for all. Yes. So we're back, baby.
Yes.
Midlife crisis, motherfuckers.
Yes.
I had my kids. They're grown up. Yeah. They're fucking idiots.
But you know what? What would have happened if I had just stayed with the band? I think I'm going to buy this Camaro to pretend like I had.
What about my dreams, Carol?
Poor Carol.
I know. She's just...
God damn
She's just running a fishery in Valdez and just trying her fucking best. So, Mark, in his quest to get AKIP back to its roots, began his quest by courting a mix of secessionists and right-wing groups. I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
Yeah.
You gotta get that low-hanging fruit.
Do it.
Chryson stated that he took out the racist language from the party's old platform and made it more appealing to the more evangelistic in the state. And by that, I mean he replaced things he found racist with stances that were extremely homophobic.
Oh my god.
But he's not a racist. Mark also knew that he had to say the loud part quiet, so the party's stance on secession...
That is already ahead of the game on so many 2020 Republicans.
It's insane. I mean... Joe Vogler was, there's no such thing as a quiet part. Yeah. And I will sue the quiet part.
Yes. Quiet part was still a scream.
Yeah.
Into the night.
So the party's stance on secession was now a demand for a new vote on independence.
Just a vote.
If you're gonna do it, that's the smart way to fucking do it. It's probably the most legal way you can go about it. So repeatedly, not a dumb man, probably not a good man.
Right.
But not a dumb man.
So,
it should also be noted that despite Mark pushing back on past racist stances, he wasn't going to push away support from racists. It was noted that under Mark's leadership, the AKIP began rubbing elbows with neo-Confederates and white nationalists who also wanted to break away and form their own nations. When asked by Salon if he believed the Confederacy should have been able to secede legally, he said, yes. The War of Northern Aggression, or the Civil War, or the War Between the States, however you want to refer to it,
barf,
was not about slavery. It was about states' rights.
Barf.
This is going to be a slight sidebar. So when I was doing research on people's opinion on Joe Vogler's death, one of the things I found was a secessionist conference where the representative from the Alaskan secession movement was talking about Vogler being assassinated by the government. And it legit looked like they rented the smallest ballroom in a Radisson and they couldn't even fill the front.
Oh.
So these are the sorts of places that Mark Chryson is now hanging out with the AKIP.
Oh.
So Mark also began the party's relationship with the Constitution Party, which we've talked about before. Constitution Party, if you think the Republicans are very conservative, the Constitution Party thinks they're a bunch of fucking liberals. And they don't love God enough. The Constitution Party is probably closer to a dominionist movement, but they're hardcore conservative. The AKIP had endorsed the 1992 Constitution Party presidential nominee, but Mark would push to endorse the 2004 and 2008 candidates as well. In return, the Constitution Party noted the AKIP as a state affiliate on their website. In 1996, by a hilarious some kind of chaos god kismet, Mark found himself in what would be one of the more important small-town mayoral elections in the nation. You see, Mark was from a tiny little town called Wasilla, and an outsider 32-year-old candidate had thrown her hat in the ring.
Oh, no!
That's right. The beloved local beauty queen, basketball star, and city councilwoman, Sarah Palin.
Oh, Reindeer Barbie!
Yep, I snuck her in the Trojan horse again.
No!
Push! I'm talking about Sarah Palin. I've ruined your day.
Oh, Sarah Palin. I was wondering when or if we would get to her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of amazing.
God, where do you even begin?
I mean, she can see Russia from her house.
Because
her house is where the train between Siberia and Alaska started. You can just see right down the hole.
Watching Sarah Palin, I feel like, is like accidentally taking a hit of meth. That's how it's like. I am crazed. I am not in my
Yeah.
I'm very confused and jittery. Yeah.
Palin and Chryson had met back in 1992, but Mark didn't think Sarah was nearly conservative enough. She got along with Democrat council members and wasn't nearly as intensely Republican as Chryson would have liked. Mark would often talk to Sarah and considers himself the main reason Palin converted to her own brand of roguish conservatism. In 1994, Sarah attended the AKIP convention that nominated Jack Coghill. The next year, her husband Todd would become an official member of the party. So by the time Sarah was running for mayor in 1996, she was doing so with the backing of the Alaskan Independence Party.
Man, so we have Mark to blame for all of this.
A little bit, yeah.
Wow.
Chryson and the party worked behind the scenes, making Palin out to be a militia-supporting anti-liberal who was secretly in their corner. The AKIP sent mailers suggesting that the incumbent Democrat by the name of John Stein was a secret Jew, and that Sarah was the only true Christian candidate. Yeah. So the harassment got so bad that John Stein had to produce a marriage certificate to prove that he wasn't Jewish.
What?
Yeah, just to prove that they were lying, which the AKIP claimed could have easily been forged. For a small-town mayoral race, it had gotten absolutely poisonous, but the vile tactics worked.
And this is just a mayoral race.
This is a mayoral race for a town that has maybe about 6,000 people.
For fucking Wasilla, Alaska.
Yeah.
Wow.
Palin won, and with her first act, she tried to get an AKIP member placed on the city council. The motion was voted down, but Palin would leave an open door for Chryson throughout her entire mayoral tenure. Despite Palin labeling herself as a Republican, it was clear the AKIP had gained its first new foothold in Alaska. There was even an uptick in voter support in 2000 for the AKIP. Running for U.S. Congress for the third time, the AKIP nominated aircraft mechanic Jim Dorr, who had run for Congress twice in the past as a Republican. Dorr was a member of the anti-communist John Birch Society and was incredibly interested in the rights of homeschooling. Dorr's platform included staunching the, quote, ever-expanding socialist government under which we live, cut over 70% of government spending, eliminate the National Endowment for the Arts, foreign aid, ag appropriations, the EPA, HUD, and Health and Human Services. Oh, he also wanted to leave the United Nations and find a way to overturn Roe v. Wade, referring to abortion as, quote, a war with a casualty count that makes Hitler look like a humanitarian in comparison. Yeah.
Also, it's just super disturbing how all of these ideas are now fully and formally mainstream Republican ideas.
Yeah.
It's like you throw a microphone in front of Rick Perry at any point, he's going to say 90% of what you just said.
Exactly. So we are going to take a little bit of a sidetrack because the story of how Jim Dorr got to Alaska is actually kind of amazing.
Oh, great.
It's frustratingly badass. So Jim Dorr was born here in Chicago, and at the age of 9 decided one day he was going to move to Alaska.
After reading way too much Jack London.
Yeah, he got the first book of an encyclopedia free, and none of the rest.
It's a gateway drug.
It is. Exactly. So when he turned 22, he enrolled at the University of Alaska Fairbanks to study mining and engineering. But the problem was getting there. So Jim got hired to deliver a van from Chicago to Seattle. And from there, he flew to Juneau, and then he took a ferry to Skagway, and then he took a train to Bennett Lake, and finally, he would paddle an $89 raft from Sears, Alaska, along the Yukon River to Circle, Alaska, before hitchhiking the rest of the way to Fairbanks. So he did bring his brother Bob, so he wouldn't be going alone during this whole journey. But then again, Bob had just turned 13.
What?
Yeah. And as Jim had said, thanks to the kindness of various Canadians and Alaskans, the Dorr brothers were kept afloat and fed during the worst times. And at least more than one would expect, the trip had been a really solid success.
Off the kindness of strangers.
Yeah, off the kindness of the Canadians and Alaskans out there who were like, oh, look there, it's two youngins. Oh, they're gonna die.
Yeah.
Better give them some food.
So that they grow up to be
this.
Staunch conservatives
who hate federal charity.
Oh God, I hate everything.
After 3 months, Jim and Bob reached Fairbanks, and Bob immediately flew home for school. I mean,
it's better than the alternative, which is like, and died of dysentery before turning 14.
And was eaten by a moose. I hate how jealous I am of that journey they got to have, because it sounds so freaking great.
100%.
So in the general election, Jim would come in fourth, trailing behind the Republicans, the Democrats, and the Greens, but would get 3.7% of the vote. The best results the AKIP had had since 1994. By all rates, things were looking up in 2002. Jim Dorr was running again, but this time he was running for U.S. Senate.
All right.
As for governor, the AKIP had its first ever party-only primary. You see, in Alaska, the Republicans are typically the only party that has their own primary, and then everyone else does a catch-all primary.
And what is a catch-all primary?
It's like Democrats are in it, Greens, AKIPs, Libertarians.
Is it almost like a jungle primary?
It's actually not. The main difference in this one is instead of it being a top two and whoever gets it gets a nomination, you say which party you're running for, and whoever gets the top vote in that party gets the nomination. It's just they just put them all on the same ballot and say go to town.
Cool. Well, yeah, and that probably makes the most sense when you have towns of like 500 people.
Exactly,
Yeah,
okay. And I mean, some of them probably don't have a whole lot of Democrats going around, so it just kind of, it's a good way to kind of save on time.
Got it, yeah. Yeah, time is of the essence when it's like 9 months of dark coldness.
Exactly, yeah. So 6 candidates entered the race, but the 2 most prominent were former Democrat, then former Republican, and then former Democrat Don Wright.
Don Wright. Being a Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Independent is right. I don't want to be wrong.
Yeah, he's just trying so hard. And former Democrat State Senator Nels Anderson Jr. For a party that had embraced such a right-leaning platform, it was definitely a bit odd to have their 2 frontrunners be the more liberal end of the spectrum. But both major candidates had a lot more in common than you'd think. Anderson's main link was his fervor for Alaskan resources and using them to revitalize nature-based industries like logging and mining. As for Wright, you could refer to his yellow font on white background website for his opinions.
That is very wrong.
It was,
right?
There was a lot of highlighting had to be done to read this.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And Wright was a lot more conservative than you would expect from a former Democrat, Republican Democrat. He proudly features his own self-quote from 1971 that says, "We are all Native Americans."
Oh, no.
And to avoid any confusion, he lists the American Heritage Dictionary's definition of native. There was no platform listed on his page, and when you click the links, the yellow font just turned white. It's
a metaphor?
Yeah, this is peak Angel Fire.
Oh, God.
I think when I opened it up, the web browser I was using asked if I wanted to download Netscape.
Shut up.
No, that's a lie.
As someone who's been going down a wormhole of like vintage MacBooks for no goddamn reason, this is also just like fueling the fire in me. I'm just like, God, you know what I would love to do? Just like play Civ 2.
Yeah.
Just like really go back to those old innocent days of the internet.
Just load up my Winamp, open up Kazaa.
Oh,
man.
Yes. Good times.
Good old grandpa internets. I miss them.
Beep.
Oh, God. So, I'm not going to include this.
No.
It's a fun story, though. I'll debate whether or not I do, because I don't know if my mom listens to this one yet. So, my parents had the wonderful idea of putting the family computer in my bedroom when I was, like, 12. And so we didn't have the internet at first, because we were those people, like, we didn't even have cable for the longest time, and then we finally got it.
Yeah,
and
same.
somehow I convinced my parents, like, on this old, like, it was, we had an Apple before, it was in that dead period between, like, the good Apples and the iMac, like, the new ones.
Yep.
So it was the
before they came candy colored and all that.
Exactly, yeah. So it was this old-ass fucking computer. And somehow I convinced them, I was like, yeah, we need the internet. And my dad was like, sure, yeah, why not? So we got dial-up. And, of course, the very first thing I did was just, like, yahoo.com, search, sex. And so it got to the point...
Fucking duh!
Yeah. It's like, this is what's gonna happen. And so the problem is, if it's the middle of the night and you want to sneak on the computer to see fun things, that modem's a fucking snitch.
Yeah.
So what I did is I would take the modem, I would wrap it in a pillow as if I was killing it for the inheritance money. But I did that so many times that the wires started to fray, and so it would disconnect at a certain point, so I had to keep a pillow handy for when it would reconnect, and I'd just have to grab it and, like, you shut the fuck up!
Your future girlfriends are like, what's with the pillow? Shut up, just shut up. It's fine. It's fine.
Aw, Dusty having girlfriends in middle school? No.
No, I'm just saying in the future.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is such a beautiful story.
I might include it. It'll be funny now. But yeah.
Oh.
Rest in peace, Apple Modem. You
R.
tried your best, and your best was always terrible. Anyway, what are we talking about? Politics? Yeah, we're talking about politics. Oh yeah, so we're talking about Don Wright. In the end, Don Wright won.
Shut up.
Don Wright's shitty website beat a serious state senator who just wanted his state to be able to reap its own benefits.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Also, Nels Anderson, if I remember right, is a highly respected Northern Alaska Democrat. He's just, like, very beloved. And Don Wright, we're all Native Americans, ends up winning. He won 35% of the vote. Nels Anderson got 28%. And Don Wright would then ride that victory to the worst performance the AKIP has had to date.
Yes.
He finished behind the Greens yet again and was not even able to get 1% of the vote.
Oh my god. Why use a shovel to dig your own grave when you have a cat tractor just behind you?
Jim Dore would have the same fate. He finished 4th, also behind the Greens.
God damn.
But he was able to get about 2.9% of the vote, which, if I remember right, is the same amount that he got when he ran for Congress.
No.
So, I mean, people like Jim Dore, just not enough.
Oh, well, and it would have taken him forever to get to Washington.
Yeah, that's true. Fuck off. God damn it. I gotta see if my brother's still in school. Yeah. We gotta take the boat to the ferry. We gotta hope there's some really nice Canadians along the way.
Like, people still hitchhike in the early 2000s, right? That's a thing, right?
Look, hitchhiking
there are signs everywhere telling you not to pick up hitchhikers.
Look, hitchhiking in Canada is not a thing that you hear about all the time on My Favorite Murder. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to research that. The fucking Highway of Tears is very goddamn fucking sad.
Oh.
So the downward trend continued for the AKIP into 2004. In the Senate race, Don Wright ran again and lost the primary as a Democrat. So he's now a Democrat, AKIP Republican, Democrat, AKIP Democrat. And the AKIP ended up nominating State Representative Jerry Sanders. Jerry had been recently ousted in his first ever primary for state representative in a sparsely voted election. Sanders would leave the GOP for the AKIP and succeeded in being the first member to beat a Green Party candidate in an election in years.
Okay.
However, he still finished 4th with only 1.2% of the vote being beaten out by an independent candidate.
Was it a write-in? Was it none of the above?
It was a regular independent candidate.
Wow.
In 2006, the party was knocking on death's door. Once again, Don Wright was nominated to run for governor, but barely 2,000 people even bothered to vote for the AKIP candidate in the first place.
It's just getting stale. Like, what even are they?
Partly this seemed to be due to a general waning interest in the party, but the fact that the secret AKIP Republican Sarah Palin was running and needed support in the GOP primary probably didn't help. Palin would go on to trounce the incumbent governor, Frank Murkowski, in the primary and win the governorship, while Don Wright would, once again, finish 4th overall, but this time with the worst showing the party had yet, 0.54% of the vote.
Not even a percent.
Nope.
Not even a 0.1%.
Nope. Well, no, he got 1.54.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just bad at maths.
No, it's fine. But yeah, I mean, why even run if you know the whole party's going to support Sarah Palin?
True.
Its history will never let us forget. Palin would go on to be John McCain's VP nominee, putting the AKIP an election away from federal government.
Or at least like a shadow AKIP.
Yeah. McCain and Palin would lose, no thanks to Palin's many gaffes and the revelation that her and her husband had ties to an Alaskan separatist party. Palin would famously resign from the governorship in 2009 to run her own super PAC and star in a reality TV show on TLC.
Yeah, no, she quit. She just up and... She's not even... She shouldn't even be designated as, like, former governor, because she just hung out for 2 years. And
exactly.
was like, bye.
Yeah, like, she could have stayed and maintained power.
Yeah. You could have had a bad bitch.
You could have had a very bad at her job,
yeah, you bitch. Really... But, like, she just was bad.
Once again, the AKIP had lost their door to the governor and were without any other viable roads to success.
And Alaska is still a state in the within the Federation of United States.
Yes, it is. For all intents and purposes, the party went into hospice in 2008. They held their last ever convention at the Barrett Inn in Fairbanks. The party would field candidates for the U.S. Senate and U.S. Congress, selecting adjunct professor and sports announcer Bob Byrd for Senate, mainly because he was the only person who ran, and Don Wright for Congress, because why the hell not at this point?
He's there.
Byrd and Wright would actually perform moderately well, both garnering at least 4% of the vote in each of their races. But much like a second win during an illness, those numbers only had the appearance of a genuine rebound. 2010 would mark the last time the AKIP would run for governor, nominating the only party member in the primary, Don Wright. Don would finish in third, with 1.9% of the vote, only succeeding in besting the Libertarian nominee. The last Alaskan Independence Party nominee appears to be maintenance worker Dustin Darden in 2016 during the race for state representative in District 22 in Anchorage.
Get it, Dustin.
He would finish with 9.5% of the vote in last place.
Great.
He had performed better than any AKIP governor or federal candidate since 1994. He would become a Democrat in 2018. Their website
is like, well, I'm already used to losing. I'm sorry, that was a low blow.
No, in Alaska, that's fine. The AKIP website features a shop that sells t-shirts, CDs of Vogler's radio appearances, and a bumper sticker that reads Alaska Terrorist Hunting Permit that is good from 2001 until 2051.
Ew.
Based on the last post on the site from Chairwoman Lynette Clark requesting workers for their latest convention, the site hasn't been touched since 2012.
Man.
The party hasn't run a major candidate in over a decade, and party members have mostly left for the Republicans or the Constitution Party. But the state of Alaska still recognizes the AKIP as an official state party. And this is initially where I had finished writing.
Oh boy. But...
So we talked a little bit, I think, in episode 1 about the Constitution Party and the current sort of moral civil war that's going on within them.
Oh, I wasn't aware that there was a moral civil war within the...
Oh, yeah. The moral civil war with them has kind of been going on for the past 10 years or so. The general idea is there are certain members of the Constitution Party who believe the others don't love God enough. And some state affiliates of the Constitution Party have been refusing the national nominee, particularly in Idaho. This has been happening for quite a bit. And so it's kind of come to a head this year, and the party has split. So now you have the Constitution Party, and you have the newly founded Life and Liberty Party. The reason I bring this up is their nominee is a guy by the name of J.R. Myers, who was a Alaskan Independence Party higher-up during the final conventions. And this year, they are going after the AKIP nomination for president.
The Life and Liberty Party?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. With this sudden move of J.R. Myers to try to get the AKIP nomination for president, AKIP's story isn't done. If anything, it's just been started again. So that's the story of Joe Vogler's Alaskan Independence Party.
Amazing. I love it. The thing I keep thinking about too is if you're for a party that's whole ethos is the secession from the federal government, like totally and completely, becoming its own, I guess, country. Yeah, really.
100%.
I just want to point out that they ended up inevitably going into the system again and again and again.
Yeah,
and as someone with family, generations back, but family ties to the IRA, and a fascination with the Troubles and all that. It's hey, good on you for not blowing things up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. Good
Exactly.
job. Like, thank you for just thinking, like, hey, maybe if we just, like, become a senator and then we could vote for our own independence.
Exactly,
yeah. Good. Instead of becoming crazy eco-tourists, or terrorists, rather, and all that shit.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Vogler is an asshole in a lot of regards, but you're right, it is heartening that he actually went about it trying to do this the most legal way he could.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? Deep inside, you're all Americans.
Yeah.
Hashtag as all Americans.
God damn it. That must have like, if Joe Vogler was around when Don Wright said that, he would have lost his fucking mind.
He is rolling in his Canadian grave.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's still there. And yeah, there's if I remember right, his will states that if Alaska ever becomes independent, you unbury him and you bury him back in Alaska.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That'll be fine.
Yeah,
His permafrost, it'll be pretty much the same.
He's gonna stay in Canada.
Yeah. I heard the Yukon's lovely. Oh man.
This is so great.
Yeah.
I learned so much about Alaska.
Oh man. Well, yeah. Thank you so much, y'all, for joining us.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is pretty much the format that we're going to be doing from here on out. We're going to be capping episodes at around 45 minutes, so it's, good old commute length.
Mm-hmm.
Releasing every Friday. We did a Tuesday Friday just because the last episode took me so long to edit. But we're working on it, and we'll get there. So
It's literally just us, and by us I mean
us.
like 70% Dusty and me coming in to make fart jokes.
That reminds me, I gotta put in more fart jokes. Alright, see y'all next week.
Yay!
Gadfly is a production of Added Serotonin. Our theme song is Sophomore Makeout by Silent Partner. You can find us on Twitter at GadflyPod, or you can find us on Instagram at Gadfly_podcast.